We've recently seen the debut of both Magisk and Dupree and Vitality playing a total of 3 games, 2 of which were on Inferno. Today we'll be taking a look at how Magisk holds pit at an incredibly high level. I do truly believe Magisk is one of the best at playing this position, as he almost always makes the right decisions. We will start off by taking a look at round 22 versus FaZe. We will first see Magisk going towards middle with ZywOo to help him out early on in the round. Magisk will just be standing here really, just being ready to throw a pop flash if ZywOo calls for it, and also if he wants to re-peek. After helping out ZywOo in this position of middle, he'll quickly rotate over towards Graveyard just to hold the apps push for a little while, and also notice in this position that he is taking the lower side peek instead of the standard headshot angle. This may catch some players off who are shifting to this position if they are not ready to clear out this sort of off angle, I guess you could say. However, no one does come through apps in this round. Later on, we do see ZywOo goes down towards long, and this puts a lot of pressure instantly on both Magisk and Dupree, as they know they could be wrapped on from long. Magisk makes the quick decision to reposition towards pit, and he does throw a HE, but it is a little bit late here, which is kind of unfortunate, and those 3 players do slip round to short, and he's able to take down 1 before being traded. Personally, I think he could have played this even possibly a little bit differently. He could have used his smoke that he still had and dropped it just at his feet in pit, just trying to maybe stay alive for a little bit longer. However, I do think Magisk probably just wanted to deal with the pressure immediately, as he knew they were already very pushed up short. We'll now be moving on to round 26 versus FaZe once again. Magisk will go straight towards apps this time instead of going middle with ZywOo, just to make sure he doesn't give up apps control early on in the round for free. He does jiggle a couple of times here with his Molotov, ready for any T aggression in this position before falling back towards balcony. He is able to just focus on short right here, as ZywOo is watching his apartments push for the moment. However, this doesn't last very long, as ZywOo does go back towards arch to make sure no aggression is coming from long. And at this point, Magisk then drops down from balcony and lines up this Molotov for top middle actually. We don't actually get to see him throw it. However, I did find that it actually is a step jump throw just to land of top middle from the same position he just aimed at. Much later on in the round again, FaZe uses lots of utility to take top middle control, resulting in this final push onto the A site. This amount of utility alone from FaZe, and also just the pressure from long, forces Magisk to throw his Molotov towards short, and also throwing a flash towards long to help out ZywOo from this push. At this point, he is still in pit and Magisk smokes off apps instead of himself. Now I find this quite interesting and a little bit weird, because he could have just knew that FaZe didn't actually have any more utility or Molotovs to flush him out of pit, or he could have just thrown it because he wanted an easier way to cross the mini pit or headshot. Either way, this decision worked out very well for him, and he was able to just do a chunk of damage to the FaZe players with his HE he threw towards short. Notice again guys, he goes into this anti-flash position very briefly in headshot just before they do this final push up short, just to make sure he doesn't get caught off by a pop flash that FaZe could throw. These first 2 frags that Magisk gets are the most crucial ones in this entire round, just for the reason alone because Karrigan is pushing from the moto smoke, as you can see, and he's wanting for his team to take all the attention away from him, so he was able to just pick up some free kills and suddenly push through the smoke. But because of Magisk having a multi-frag here, Pre was able to just keep watching this moto smoke, shutting down his push from FaZe. And I think Magisk would have probably got a 4K right here as well if Dupree and ZywOo didn't pick one up for themselves, but Magisk did his job very well, and you can just see why I think he is a great hit player. So now guys, we'll be watching the second round of overtime between Vitality and FaZe. We will see once again early on in the round, Magisk will be going on top of balcony. The reason he starts here very often is that he is able to help out towards short and also watch the apps aggression at the same time. FaZe are putting a lot more pressure than usual on top mid. That is why Magisk is watching boiler for Dupree, just to make sure he can get back safely and not be picked off. Magisk will then drop a smoke at his feet, as he doesn't know if there's any T's pushed up close to him trying to find an opening. After Rops throws a pop flash for short, Magisk and Dupree both know now that they need to take back some map control. Because of this, Magisk then gets inside his smoke on apps and also gets pop flashed in deeper by Dupree, just to make sure they have the information that there isn't anyone pushed up in apps. Again with the map control guys, as FaZe throws down a mid to B smoke, you can see Dupree wants to push through this so he can get the information of what they're doing. This is why Magisk then throws a flash for him. However, in this position now, it leaves him by himself on the A site. He quickly throws a Molotov towards short after spotting a player in this position and dropping down from apps. Because of this Molotov, Magisk is able to look down the gap of hay bales and take out Karrigan before also winning the duel onto Rops, who tries to trade him. Even though he only has 3 bullets left in his mag in this situation, he will not be reloading until he knows he's in a safe position to do so. I think you should all try do this for yourself in the next game that you're in. Just be more aware of where you are reloading and if you're in a safe position to do so. After this, Magisk will then take a peek towards short and take out the final player of FaZe. We are now going to be moving on to the EG game. Vitality also played with their new roster. Magisk will be going towards apps early in the round, using some chickens as aimbot practice before that. Magisk does actually change his mind very quickly in this situation, falling back towards pit. He goes in this first angle you can see crouching next to this barrel on the left side of pit, being a very hard position to clear for NATs coming out of apps, as they have to actually come all the way out of apps to be able to see him, and also changing to the second angle next to this plank of wood on the gap of pit also just like the first angle we just covered, it is very hard to clear because this player is able to just stay crouched, so the T has to come all the way out of apps to see him. Much later on in the round we will see EG are going for this A split, having 3 long, 1 short and 1 apps. Magisk will react to this by throwing a smoke towards long to try block off this wrap from happening and give Magisk and Dupree a little bit more space on the site. Magisk is able to win the duel towards Breeze, who is peeking from apartments, and after getting a decent amount of spam damage through the smoke, unfortunately he does get pushed by Rush while he's reloading. The next round, as a few members of Vitality went down in this round, it is forced Magisk onto a FAMAS. However, because Dupree actually peaked, I think boiler or mid early on, he got chunked all the way down to 3 HP, meaning these two could just switch weapons. And in this situation as well, Dupree's actually dropped his Molotov and smoke down into pit with Magisk, allowing for him to use this utility when he chooses. At about the 1 minute mark left in the round, he will throw down a smoke towards apartments, stopping any potential aggression in this area for the duration of the smoke. As you guys can see, Magisk is actually peeking the corner of short just above this wall. He does this by standing on top of the bike on the back wheel of it, allowing for him to just AD side to side and peek and non-peek essentially. As soon as Magisk starts to get any contact on short, he'll react with a Molotov in this position, throwing against the default box to block off any more short aggression. He is then able to just catch off Cirque just by constantly spamming the corner because Cirque is trying to jiggle peek and bait out any shots. He is also able to help out Dupree and take out Stewie, trying to catch a timing of this reload from Magisk before being taken out by automatic on hay bales. On the 5th round versus EG, once again guys, I want you to watch only what Magisk is doing late in the round. There is only around 30 seconds left in the round when Magisk slowly starts moving back towards pit, getting ready for this final possible hit from the T's. As Zywu gets contact on long, Magisk will actually react by dropping a smoke at his feet, preparing for a T hit. Magisk is able to hide inside of his smoke for a few seconds before winning the duel onto Breezy, and this kill he got onto Breeze is actually just the most crucial one in this entire situation, as now EG still have an issue of Magisk being alive in pit, and Magisk doesn't even have to fight them in this situation. If you're in this situation, you do not have to fight the players on site and swing, okay? Magisk is just hiding in pit because he knows that he's able to put this incredible amount of pressure on EG just by staying alive. That is why Rush feels he has to take a duel onto long by swinging out. This just allows for Zywu to pick him off, and then Magisk will just mess around with Cirque a little bit here just by jump shooting before Masuta finally takes him out. Here is another option you guys can do towards apartments early on in the round if you feel like it. You can throw down your Molotov quite early on in apps actually, and then just start spamming the walls towards bridge into second mid, or you can even spam the door here to try catch anyone who might be waiting behind this Molotov that you just threw down. This is just something you guys can try out in your next pug or team game, as it might be an easy way for you to get an opening kill. Overall guys, I just want to recap what we've seen out of Magisk in this new Vitality is not only a consistent player in this position of pit, but also mixing it up and being able to change how he uses his utility and also where he plays. Sometimes we'll see Magisk using his utility early on in the round, other times we'll see him use it much later, and also like I just said, changing his positions constantly, making it very hard for the enemy to know exactly what angle he'll be taking. For example, I can say he's played graveyard, he's played the headshot angle, sometimes playing the barrel angle, wood angle, and also using the bike to jiggle peek towards short. There is lots you guys can actually take away from this video just by watching Magisk, as he is a top player in this position, and I really hope you've learned something new. Go out and try some of these for yourself. It's been Glaze guys, and I'll speak to you very, very soon.